It is so obvious, and I don't know why some people cannot get it. So there is no person on the world that will convince me that a space shuttle is more reliable than a bicycle because it has the latest technologies on it, if you understand what I mean. Simplicity is always the key. More or less, it is the same even with chains. Why I have to make a simple chain even more complicated and difficult by installing a oiler? I don't need it. Christoph, finally you made it after I don't know how many attempts, at least 2-3 weeks. Audio, video, good, perfect. Christoph, perfect. Yeah, it was a long process for you. I'm really sorry about the confusion. Forrest, hi man, how are you doing? I'm sorry about the confusion, but this is the system that works at the moment. So, guys, I hope that you have some questions for me. I really look forward to it. Please give me the chance to tell you what I know. Yes, yours and maybe my fault. I should have explained you better the first time. But anyway, thank you very much for joining the Patreon channel. Thank you very much for support, Chris, and to all of you guys. Thank you very much for the support. Because of people like you, I'm here on this platform. Because of people like you, I keep doing what I do because I really appreciate your help. If I just talk like this and no one even listen or no one pay attention on my words, I would have been stopping probably a long time ago. But because of people like you, I'm still doing what I do. And I hope that with all the information that we're gonna provide tonight will be the same. Many young riders or people who did not travel it yet will get some ideas or maybe some inspiration from me, from you, from all of us guys, and finally start traveling and enjoying their times. Anyway, as you know, today the topic is going to be based only on your questions. So if you have any, please go ahead and I will try to do my best to answer it. I hope that everything is alright with you. Here today we've got 20 degrees and then screw up and starts raining. At the moment it's around 5. Yes, this is my goal, and I hope that it will be goal to many people, because if everyone is able to travel and see the world, I don't think that the worst will exist or the people will be so badly brainwashed as today. But it is what it is, you know. Forrest, you mentioned in previous videos that you eat 4 eggs per day. How do you prepare them? Yes, I will absolutely answer your question with pleasure. I eat the eggs on what is this, poach, or what is the name? When you don't scramble it, you just put it like that. So first I have a piece of bread, just slice of bread. I put it in the table, in the plate. Then on the top of this bread I've got 4 eggs like this, poach eggs, one on the top of another. And then on the top I can have a little bit of cheese, a little bit of bee pollen, just a few drops. And then I slice it gently with the knife, and I keep the eggs very raw. The yolk is very raw. So when I cut it with the fork, it's actually split everywhere around the bread, and the consistency is just fantastic. And I eat it every morning with pleasure. I hope that this answers your question. Christoph, 50 to 20 centimeters now in Germany, Frankfurt. Ooh, very bad. We are still lucky here. Nikolai, hey, hi, how are you, man? Where are you from? First time here, nice to see you. Romania, this is what I thought. My neighbor, how are you doing, neighbor? Do you have any questions to me? Yes, Forrest, it's absolutely delicious. I eat it every day with pleasure. And even thought about seat modifications. Ah, okay. What modifications? Probably heated seat, something like that? No? Oh, okay. What kind of modification then you need? New foam. Well, any modification that you can make on the seat, or any brand or model C that you can buy, they will work somehow, but you will be always disappointed. In my opinion, it's better just to teach your ass how to survive many miles. Richard, what is my motorcycle history? What bikes have you owned before 10 years? Well, listen, I started riding motorcycles when I was 14 years old, 1-4, very young age. The first motorcycle that I started was a Bulgarian brand Balkan, 50cc. Then slowly I bought my first motorcycle. It was Simpson 50cc. Again, this was East German brand. This was the motorcycles or the mopeds that we were able to find in our area. After that I moved to MZ 150cc, then I've got MZ 250cc, then 251cc was very interesting model. Then I switched to sport bikes. When I was 20 years old, I was riding only sport bikes. I've got a Honda CBR 900, I've got Suzuki GS XR, and no, it was not GS XR, it was SRAT. SRAT was the name. I actually changed so many motorcycles until I found this straight position with the old Honda Africa Twin. It was in the 1950 or 6, something like that. And then I loved this straight position and I gave up all other these sport bikes and anything, and I decided to ride only this straight position. I've got for a while DR650, I got for a while DR800 big, and then I've got a few more models. I used to ride dirt bikes for around 6 to 7 years. I've got a few KTMs, Husqvarnas, and then I moved to Germany, and in Germany I was not able to ride dirt bikes anymore. So then I bought the Tenere in Germany already, 2011, and start traveling more seriously around the world. Before that I was making mostly local rides in my country or around my neighbors here, like Romania, Serbia and Greece and stuff like that. But more seriously I start around 2011, something like that. Want to go to Romania and Bulgaria in September 24th. Yes, September will be good period to come, Christoph. It is still not cold, depends on the years of course, but usually September is a nice month for riding a motorcycle. Where in Bulgaria? Well, in Bulgaria we have 34 mountains. The most popular are around 6 different mountains, and the biggest mountain starts from west and go to the east coast of Bulgaria. And this mountain crossing the whole country like this, which is mean that every time when you want to go from north to south or from south to north, you have to use some different mountain passes. We have so many places to ride around Bulgaria. We have mountains, we have a nice beach, we have so many historical points. Actually, you can spend easily a month in Bulgaria. When you decided finally to come here, let me know and I will prepare a nice route for you. Richard, it does my 251 from this road one. Ooh, yes, this was the revolution. Yeah, it was the first MZ was 150 with the front disc. It was just a revolution. 2 strokes, of course. I still remember this big 251cc that was working like a clock, like boom, 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 and the vibrations were terrible, but just I love this motorcycle. It was a nice time. I really enjoyed my youth. I was so reckless, man. I was riding without any gear, anything. I was riding here in Varna from traffic light to traffic light with 250 kilometers per hour without any gear, with flip-flops and just t-shirt, and my t-shirt was waving like this behind my back. I was going to the highway and then riding even faster. It was so fast that when I was twisting the throttle, my eyes are opening like this and my mouth was opening. Wow, and I was laughing so much, but I was such a stupid idiot. Somehow I survived. Big D. If one day I ever take the notion of touring in Himalayas, what will be your best way to go? As a guided tour on your own. I'm not a fan of big groups, especially now and there. Okay, so Big D. I'm also not fan of big groups and these organized tours. Sometimes they might be useful, especially if you know nothing about the country, if you cannot make your route alone, or if you don't feel good alone. They might be a better option and may be good fun. But if you already have a little experience, if you're alright to stay alone, my advice, the best way to tour Himalayas is going to be to fly to India, go to North India, Leh, or this area around the north part of India, and over there you can easily rent a motorcycle, something like Royal Enfield Himalayan, and the prices are not that bad, and if you spend like 2-3 weeks, I'm sure that you can afford it, and then you can enjoy this part of Himalayas. Or another option will be to go to Pakistan in similar story, but in Pakistan it's going to be very difficult to find to rent a motorcycle. In India, especially in the area of Ladakh, North India, in almost every big town, every corner, you'll be able to find and rent Royal Enfield motorcycles. My advice, of course, is going to be to rent Himalayan, because the older models, Bullets, these old models looks like old Soviet Union motorcycles, they are not very good choice. They've got the terrible vibrations, they are very heavy and they're very fragile, and Himalayan is a good option for touring Himalayas. Even the name said. I hope this helped Big D. If you decided to go with your motorcycle, it is going to be too expensive and will take way too much time. You'll need a lot of time just to go there, and it will be very expensive. Richard, do you use base layers? It look me this is really now important they are, because they are not seen, they are often forgotten. Yes, absolutely. The gear that I used most of the time, this Dominator GTX from Revit, it hasn't got warm linings, so I used base layers. I have two base layers from Revit. They are very similar as this Fleet. Very similar, but very light, and they stay very close to the body, and they are absolutely perfect option. First time when I got this Dominator GTX jacket without the warm layer, I was surprised, and I was even angry to say, man, this jacket costs so much money, but it hasn't got even a warm lining. But then I realized that it is better this way, because I always have something underneath. It will be thermo underwear or base layers, but I always have something underneath. And when you have this, you don't need warm linings actually. And yes, thermo underwear and warm linings, warm layers I used all the time. And if I only walk around, I use them as a normal jacket to walk around. I hope, Richard, that this is what you asked. Christoph, Big D, Ichi Boots suggests India in New Elephant on YouTube. Yes, true. She did it now, I think, on the new Royal Enfield, and she did it before that on the old Royal Enfield, which one she bought it from there. This is another option. You can also buy it from there, but I think it's if you go just for a week or two, it will be much easier and cheaper and a simple option just to rent it out. If you buy it, then you have to think what to do with this motorcycle when you finished. Yeah, rent is always easy, and also when you rent it, you'll have some kind of insurance, and everything is going to be organized. Also, if you have a problem with this motorcycle, when it's a rent motorcycle, you can call this company. Probably they will try to help you or will provide another motorcycle. But if you buy it, if it's brand new, you need to break it. If it's not new, you might have any problems. I don't know. It's always if you can afford it, of course, but. As I remember, the prices were, when I was in North India, I was riding Himalayan. The Himalayan was given to me from a follower, but I checked the rents and they were not that bad. They were something between $30 and $50 per day. So if you are there for 2 weeks, it's not going to be that big amount compared to anything else that you have to pay if you go with your motorcycle or if you have to buy a motorcycle. Christoph. Eric Peter did ship this CCM, but very expensive and custom streets. Yes, absolutely. To ship your motorcycle over there is going to be expensive. Richard, I notice you're not a favor of chain oiler. I used to Toro, works well. Is there a specific reason you avoid them? The main reason, Richard, I partly discussed this in my next video for tomorrow. The main reason I never buy oiler is because I don't trust and I don't believe in these oilers like most of the people do. So, in my opinion, the life of any chain depends on the factory grease that the chain has inside of the barrels. Once this factory grease finish, the chain is finished. And it doesn't matter what kind of system you have to polish it on the top, on the outside. Because inside it is finished. Yes, if you have oiler, it will give you the impression that the chain lasts longer. No, the chain does not last longer. The chain rely only on the lubrication that you put on the top. But after the same amount of kilometers, maybe 5,000 kilometers more, the chain is finished. If you stop the oiler, example, let me explain you better way. If you have a chain that lasts without oiler 20,000 kilometers, and then you have the same chain and put a oiler, and after 25,000 kilometers you remove the oiler, your chain will block after a week or two. This is what I mean. The oiler keep it alive because of this artificial lubrication that you put all the time on the chain. It's keep the chain just lubed. But the factory grease inside of your chain is gone from a long time. That's why I don't find any reason to buy an oiler that will cost, good oiler will cost at least 100-150 euros. Then you have to mount it on your motorcycle. You have to mount it properly. Then you need a oil for your system, oiler system. Then you have to adjust it properly. If you twist too much or too little, it's not gonna work, or it will make oil everywhere. And that's why for me this is something not deserve my attention or the money, because the chain will last 25, 30, 35,000 kilometers anyway. And in my situation, before every long trip, I change the chain and sprockets, and they usually last many kilometers. Now, for example, on my last trip to Magadan and back, my chain lasted 36,000 kilometers. Riding in any kind of conditions, a lot of dust, mud, rain, anything you can imagine. And for the whole trip, this 3-month trip, 36,000 kilometers, for the whole period of the life of the chain, I used only 2 chain sprays, which is mean I did not even care it properly. I never wash it, never clean it, just spray it once per day or once per every other day, or maybe after a heavy rain a few times more, but that's it. And it survived 36,000 kilometers. So in my opinion, if the person cannot afford to change the chain and sprockets once per year or once per 20-30,000 kilometers, maybe it's better to sell the bike and buy a bicycle or go by bus, because it is just a part of the motorcycle that needs to be changed. It's like oil. It's a service interval that you have to cover all the time. That's why for me these systems, these oiler systems, are just pointless. It's additional, okay, they are not that heavy, but money and something on the motorcycle for what? For just simple chain spray and that's it. This is my opinion. That's why I never had oiler and I never worry about the chain, because it will last one way or another. With a proper care, it will last 30,000 kilometers or 35. Without any care, it will last the same kilometers or maybe 2,000-3,000 kilometers less. No difference to me. I hope this answered the question, Richard. Some people love it, but not me. I have heard about this maintenance-free chain, but in my opinion, any chain is maintenance-free. The only reason I put a lubrication on the top of my chain is to prevent it from rusting. Because if you have rust on your on your chain, then the rust will go around the rubber seals and maybe will destroy it, and then it will finish faster. But I really don't know. Maybe this chain will be a little bit better made with better O-rings or X-rings, whatever. But I cannot see that it could be absolutely maintenance free, because it should be done from material that is not rusting, which is, I don't know, maybe if it is, maybe it will be the reason. But if you ride in dust, in sand, in water all the time, all of this will somehow destroy it. But it could be, I don't know, I have heard about it, never seen it yet. Some people said that they bought it and it lasts like 40,000 kilometers. I've got 36,000 from a simple chain, DID chain, that I bought for 100 euros, include the sprockets. So if this BMW maintenance-free chain costs like 500 euros, it's pointless to me. I'm also doubt really much about it, and also curious. Christopher, Nikolai. Nikolai, you're here. Okay. I have standard battery which requires maintenance, seal it, and I am sealing to and installing all these batteries which are quite expensive but lighter. Okay, my advice on lithium batteries or just a standard batteries. I am always riding my motorcycle with a standard battery, just a normal metal hydride battery. I might not pronounce it correctly, but I never wanted, and I don't have at the moment, and I will never put a lithium battery on my motorcycle. A few reasons. Yes, the lithium batteries are very light, probably 1/3 of the weight of the normal battery, but they are very sensitive to cold temperatures and also for overheating. And also they are very sensitive if your recharging system failed. If the recharging system gives a little bit more than 14.4 volts or something like that, they are very sensitive and they may die just because of a different voltage at the moment. So sensitive to voltage, sensitive to cold and heat. So I prefer to have a standard batteries. I will risk this 1 or 2 kilograms, but to have a battery that will always works. On my old Tenere, the battery died after 12 years. 12 years. I will see how many years the battery of this Tenere will last. But I will always bet on the standard batteries. I hope this answer, Nikolai. Christoph. There are a lot of discussions about grease and oil. In theory, X-rings prevent the oil grease to go in. Exactly. X-rings prevents the oil and grease to go inside of the barrels, and they also prevent the grease to go outside of the barrels. Once the O-rings are destroyed and the grease is out, the chain is finished. No matter what you do with the chain on the top. Yes, I will agree. If you oil it all the time, probably this will extend a little bit the life of the O-rings, but in my opinion, it's not that significant. If we're talking about 2,000, 3,000 to 5,000 kilometers, even 10, this is not going to make a big difference in my budget, overall or annual budget. And that's why I never focus on the oilers, because the oiler will cost you like chain and sprockets. Okay, you can use it many times, but how many times you don't know. You might destroy it tomorrow, you might change your motorcycle, you never know. You have a Cobra Nemo mechanic oiler and think it's good. Yeah, absolutely. But all oilers, they've got exactly the same point, to lubricate the chain. And as I said, I don't even worry about it. Tenere, have any of the new bikes made in consider with them with time comes to change? For me, simple is best. Nice and buy Tenere history now something. Yeah, absolutely. The simpler the motorcycle is, the longer it will live and without problems. It is so obvious, and I don't know why some people cannot get it. So there is no person on the world that will convince me that a space shuttle is more reliable than a bicycle because it has the latest technologies on it, if you understand what I mean. Simplicity is always the key. More or less, it is the same even with chains. Why I have to make a simple chain even more complicated and difficult by installing an oiler? I don't need it. End of the story. Only rust prevention. Yes, for rust prevention, absolutely agree. Oiler is a good option for rust prevention. On the other hand, when you prevent on the other side, if you prevent the rust, you will probably extend, as I said, the life of the O-rings. But the difference is not that significant. I have heard stories about chain that lasted 50, 60,000 kilometers with one chain because of the oiler. No, as I said, the chain finished a long time ago. If you stop the oiler, you will stop the chain as well. It will start sticking here and there, and you have to change it. God, this is a cool tip. I have to remember this. Flower pots. Also, they are very nice to have it like a seats or maybe even table when you have a dinner around the camping. Yeah, absolutely. I like the idea. I never heard about flower pots, but it's maybe some kind of interesting decoration in the yard will be also very nice. I don't know. Could be used for anything. Anyway, they cost a lot of money. Better is to use it for something instead of just throw it away. Also, they are like good investment. Now, you know, aluminum and all metals, they just go up with the price. So if you save it for quite a long time, they might be even precious after a few years. Who knows? Go ahead, guys. Nikolai, any more questions? Nikolai, Christoph, Richard, Big D, Forest, Big D. Did you tour Kazakhstan and surrounding countries on the way to Mongolia? I can't remember, but for sure it is in my wish list. On the way to Mongolia, I haven't been to Kazakhstan, but on my trip around Central Asia, I went to all of these former Soviet Union republics. All stans include Kazakhstan. Yes, I did it. It's a fantastic country to ride on a motorcycle. It's not what you thought. Kazakhstan is very straight and plain. It's mostly flat. There are many interesting places to see, but it's a very big country and it includes a lot of straight roads and windy roads. Definitely deserve to be seen, but if I have to choose one country from all of these stans, it won't be Kazakhstan. I will say probably Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan is with a lot of mountains, a lot of green, many high elevation lakes and many beautiful roads to ride. Tajikistan is very beautiful mountains. All of these Hindu Kush and Himalayas peaks are over there. You can see it. You have a lot of high elevation passes and everything. Uzbekistan is more from historical point of view. You have all of these old towns like Bukhara, Samarkand, Khiva and many more. So all of these different towns, they have so many interesting things. In Kazakhstan, it's a little bit more complicated. They've got one really nice canyon, Charin Canyon its name. It's located in the southeast part of Kazakhstan. Maybe you will interesting to go and see Baikonur, the spaceship place, and many more places, but it's not exactly what you thought. Do I use air plugs, Nikolai? No, I don't. I have it always in my pocket. I use it in very occasions when I know that I'm gonna spend, for example, let's say many hours on the highway. If I have to have many hours on the highway, then I'm gonna use my air plugs, but usually I don't use it because it's somehow annoying me when I have them. When I cannot hear the motorcycle properly, it's annoying me. Also, it is very strange when you use it for a few hours and then remove it. I have the impression that the motorcycle is broken. It is so loud and everything is loud. That's why I usually never use it. And also because now I film everything and talk in the helmet, when I have the air plugs, it's very strange. I cannot control the level of my voice. So I use it in very occasion, especially if I have to ride many hours on the highways, and this happens not very often. I hope that this answered the question. Richard, have I considered a tubeless conversion on the Tenere? No, Richard, I did not. I know that tubes might be pain in the ass, but I also know that tubes might save your life and your ass probably in many difficult situations. And it is not fun to have a flat tire when you're on the trip. Now on my trip to Magadan I've got 4. It is definitely not fun, but I still believe that the tubes is the better and the safer option, especially when you ride off-road. So tubeless, it's a good option, and tubeless kits, I haven't seen the one tubeless kit that is like trouble-free or affordable or easy to use. That's why until this moment I did not even worry about it. If one day Yamaha start to make their motorcycles tubeless, I won't have any more options and I have to go to this, but at the moment I just don't worry about it. The tubes are, as I said, sometimes pain in the ass, but it's something that it's not that bad. Once you know how to do it, it's alright. Christoph, the fancy electric features on new bikes work only if everything goes smooth and well greased. What will fit the L motors and suspension adjustment if the grease has gone, say this? And yeah, that is true, Christoph. All of these features, they are very useful, no doubts about it. All of these features might save many lives, no doubt about it. But also I know that when some of these features stopped or fail, you're left without anything. You'll basically stop on the road. Also, they make you a very bad favor. If you ride and use these features all the time, you actually learn to ride wrong. I can give you one simple example. Yesterday I went to ride here from my place, and I spent like one day riding around because it was like 18 degrees yesterday. From the moment I left my home, there is a nice twisty road here, and I went to this twisty road, and the temperature outside was around 16 degrees. 16 degrees! And I twist the throttle on these twisty roads. On the first corner, my rear slide, because the asphalt was still cold. Outside is 15, but the asphalt was probably, I don't know, 3-4 degrees, especially on the shadows. and my rear slipped a little bit, like for a few seconds. I managed to chop the throttle and got control and everything back on the track. If I had the traction control, the traction control will react probably faster than me and save my life. But what this will give me? This will give me the impression that I can do whatever I like, because traction control is always there to help me. But when you don't have the traction controls, you have to learn how to control your motorcycle. Chop the throttle, try to react, put it on back on the track, and then have this in mind for the rest of the kilometers that I have made during that day. Every time when I was twisting, I was having this in mind. Because when you see 15, 16 degrees, you think, oh, everything is nice, but never forget, this is winter. It might be nice on the sun, but when you go on the shadow, especially we have some wet spots here and there, it's not already 15 degrees, it is 3 degrees over there, and it's easy to slide your rear or front, whatever. So when you have these systems, you forget how to ride properly. You always overestimate your skills, you always twist a little bit more. But in my opinion, when you hear your traction control or your ABS working, that is mean you already made a mistake, because without a mistake, they are not going to work. I hope this answers. Nikolai, talking about tubes, are you using standard tubes or thicker, heavy, dirty tubes? Usually, before the trips, I go to heavy, dirty tubes. And I had heavy, dirty tubes now with my on my trip to Magadan. But something that I will never do again is to have a heavy, dirty tires, not tubes. The tubes are fine. But now on my trip to Magadan, I have Meters 09 rear, which was Dakar version. Dakar version is very hard compound, very hard rubber. And in the combination, with the fat tube that I've got inside, man, it was almost impossible to change it. I spent like 1.5 hours battle just to change the tube, my front tube, because I have got this Dakar hard tire with this heavy duty tube, and the space was just a little. So in the trip, on the long trip, I will never use Dakar tire with tubes. If for some reason I cannot find any other tire and I have to use this Dakar option, very hard tire, I will put a normal tube inside, otherwise it is very difficult to work with it. So heavy duty tubes, they might help you a lot, so because sometimes, you know, if you use the tubes for a long enough period, they start to wear here and there, and heavy duty tubes usually last longer. Also they prevent friction and they last a little bit longer as usual. But also don't forget that if you ride too fast, too aggressive, if you have a lot of highways and ride with a high speed over 150 and 60, these heavy duty tubes will overheat much faster than the normal tubes. So it's always a good balance, it's a good option, but you have to be careful what kind of tire you have on the top. If the top tire, the tire is very hard, then I will suggest to go to normal tubes. Okay, Christoph, I don't want this fancy electric shit. Me either, but this is the new world. We're all going to this direction, and I hope, no, I don't hope. I'm sure that after a few years, we wouldn't be able to find any simple, cheap motorcycles. This is where the world is going. Unfortunately, this is the situation. Tenere. Richard, tinted visor or sunglasses? I always got glasses uncomfortable. Always find glasses uncomfortable. Well, I have another option, Richard. I always buy a helmet with integrated sunglasses. This eliminates the sunglasses at all, normal sunglasses, and tinted visor. When it's light enough, I can have the sunglasses of the integrated sunglasses and have a good comfort. When it's not light enough or when it's dark, I will just remove it. That's it. I don't need to change the visors. I don't need to worry about glasses, anything. So every helmet that I buy definitely need to have sunglasses. So these sunglasses that are integrated in the helmet, they are not like your Ray-Ban or whatever sunglasses you decided to buy at home to drive your car. They don't have the same quality, but they will do the job just fine without even notice it, because they are integrated in the helmet. This is my opinion on this topic. Christoph, I ride my bikes 100,000 kilometers and do not believe the new space shuttles bikes will last that long. I don't believe in the same, Christoph, but as I said, there's nothing we can do about it. The motorcycle community, not community, the motorcycle factories and all of this movement is going slowly to this direction. All electronics, all fancy stuff, all things like this, and I don't see that they will stop anytime soon. They will, maybe will be possible to find some unicorns or some simple motorcycles here and there, but it will be very difficult. Even now, even the Tenere that I've got, Tenere 700, the new model, it comes with a little bit more electronics. Now the ABS is switchable by buttons. You have to go through the menus. It has 3 different ABS modes. It has this application to connect with the telephone. So we'll go to this direction and we'll see what will be the next model. So this is what people want, and this is what producers give them. So you know, the market, it's what the producers made what the market wants. So it's our fault. I have an entire video on this topic. You can find it. I think was I'll tell you what is the name. Yeah, the name of this video is Who Changed the Motorcycle Industry. Go and watch it. I can even share it here. If you haven't seen it so far, maybe it will explain you better than me what I mean, or my point of view. It's not better than me, it's me again, but very organized and structured. All right. Oh guys, any more questions? Go ahead. I think we're doing well. Thank you very much for adding these questions. I really hope that they will help to many people. As I said before, I hope that they will help to many people who are actually watching the stream. Spokes or cast rims? I don't think that you have to ask me this. Always spokes. The spokes are proven to be much better in dirt riding or any kind of conditions. Even if you ride on normal roads, the spokes will be always durable. They will last much longer. And even if you bend it a little bit, you can easily adjust it and control it by just tightening the spokes here and there. That's why I will always prefer to have spokes. Christoph, as you say, it's about the trip and not the bike. It's just a tool. Absolutely. Some people cannot get it. They are so they prefer to think the other way around, but it's not like that. I mentioned it a few streams ago, but just to let you know, a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I sold my old Tenere. Actually, the guy will come to pick it up tomorrow. He's not from Varna, he's from the middle of the country, and he will come to pick it up tomorrow. And some people say, yeah man, why you sell it? It's a lot of memories. You should keep it and stuff like that. Yes, I kept it. I kept it for almost 2 years, but I don't need it anymore. I'm not that person that is going so close related to the motorcycle. Motorcycles are just tools, and this motorcycle now stay in my garage. I kept it as a decoration of my studio, but this takes a lot of space. I don't ride it anymore. Once per 3 or 4 months, I need just to take it, ride it a little bit, wash it and put it back again. So I don't use this motorcycle. It's not my kit, it's not my kidney or brain or anything. It's just a tool that I used that finished their job and it doesn't work anymore. So I put it for sale and sold it, and the guy will take it now, will ride it, I hope, for many years, and I will be glad that my motorcycle is continue traveling and make someone happy. Because the bike is just a tool. Maybe it's the best tool that you ever had or the most expensive tool that you ever had, but it is just still a tool. That's it. Big D, staying with Yamaha or you like to change to something else? Not at the moment, Big D. I'm very happy with this Tenere. I plan to use it as long as it lasts. I don't like to change the motorcycle every 2 or 3 years because, as I said, I'm different type of person. I don't get addicted to the motorcycle, but I got addicted to the trouble-free or maintenance-free or easy-to-work bike. The old Tenere gave me so much pleasure for so many years and so many kilometers, and I hope that this will be the same. So far, almost 70,000 kilometers, it's proved that it will be the same. That's why I don't plan to change it. Also, even if I want to change it now, if someone decided to give me a present tomorrow and say, Pavel, tell me what motorcycle you would like me to buy, I don't know what to point. I don't have any favorites or options that I would like to have at the moment. So this Tenere is perfectly suitable for me. So if anyone wants to buy me a new motorcycle, I'll say, man, I prefer to give me half of the money to spend it for trip instead of buying the full amount for motorcycle, because I don't need anything else now at the moment. I hope that you'll understand me. Richard, original manufacturer spares or aftermarket? Depends on the spares. If it's something which is in the engine or something very critical like brakes or probably clutch, I have bought a lot of aftermarket clutch. If it's in the engine or some critical parts like brakes or probably linkage, I will go to original parts. And if it's some kind of accessories, usually original accessories are very expensive. But if I have to change like pistons or piston rings or water pumps or anything around the engine, I'll prefer to go to the original parts. For something else, probably shock absorbers or springs or something like that, that is around the motorcycle, I will go for aftermarket if it's proven quality. I've changed many clutches, always aftermarket, they work well. I changed a lot of different things around the engine aftermarkets and they work well. Air filter standard or upgraded? Cayenne twin air, Nikolai, I've got a Cayenne filter. A few reasons. I'm not looking for a better performance of the motorcycle. I know that with a proper motorcycle air filter you can gain probably 1 or 2 horsepower, but my reason is different. I use Cayenne filter because I can clean it on the road. I can clean it and continue riding on the road. Now, for example, when I reached Magadan, actually the last 2,000 kilometers I was riding in a lot of dust. So finally, when I reached Magadan, I did not clean it in Magadan, but I went the same 2,000 kilometers all the way to Chita, which is mean that I spent more than almost like 5,000 kilometers riding in the dust. And in Chita, I was able, because I have this Cayenne filter, I was able just to remove it, wash it, clean it, lube it and put it back again. If I did not have this Cayenne filter, this means I should have original paper filter. I should have it with me on the whole trip, whole of this distance, which is many kilometers, or I should have ordered it somewhere. But in Russia, because of the sanctions, I cannot order this part anywhere. That's why Cayenne filter is priceless to me. Not only when it gets dirty, when you ride in the dust or something like that, but also I can point you another one scenario. Let's say that you're riding somewhere, you try to cross a river, and somehow you put your motorcycle underwater, and your filter will be totally soaked with water. In the best scenario, if you start the engine on time, this will be the only damage. If you have a normal paper filter, it will be done, it will be finished. But Cayenne filter, I can remove it, clean it, dry it, lube it, and put it back again and continue traveling. It's just like another one thing that I don't need to worry about it. When it's get enough dirt on it, I'll remove it, wash it, clean it, dry it, lube it, and put it back again. That's why I prefer to have this Cayenne filter, not because of the performance of the motorcycle. You don't like Cayenne, fair enough. You can look through it, look and see how small the filter is good. Yes, absolutely. I agree with you, Christoph. Paper filters definitely prevent better than the Cayenne filters. Absolutely, no doubts about it. But for that reason, if you want to protect your motorcycle, you can always have another one option. For example, for my Tenere now, they sell like a foam protection which I have, which I can have on the top of my filter. It's like a very thick foam. It's also need to lube it with a special spray, and then I will have a double protection, and it will be almost impossible to get any dust or pieces of sand inside of my filter. It will protect way better than a normal paper filter. But it is not something that I worry so much, because I ride in dusty conditions sometimes, like now the trip to Magadan, but I don't do this every single day. But yes, you're right, absolutely right. Paper filters protects better. It's the oil that catches the dust. Yes, exactly. The filter and the oil. So that's why you need to lube it properly from all sides once it's dried. Yeah, absolutely. 5,000 kilometers in the dust was argument. The filter, when I finally removed it to clean it, was really dirty, really dirty. It was a lot of dust. It was on this behind the trucks when you're riding behind the trucks. It was like smoking cigarettes without filter. It was all the time like this, all of this dust, man. It was, but was good fun. I start to miss it already. Go ahead, guys. Any more questions? Let me give you 10 more minutes. Go ahead. Shoot. It's became interesting conversation. I hope that many people will benefit from it. Thanks to all of you guys. Of course. Please, Richards, go ahead. And thank you very much for coming as usual. You're a very, very precious member to our community. You're here absolutely every time without any missing points. I'm really sorry that we cannot see each other in Portugal last year, but one way or another, we're gonna meet each other on the road. Nikolai, have you used modular helmets? Any feedbacks compared to adventure style helmets? No, Nikolai, I never used them. Few reasons, I just don't like them. For me, they, I'm really sorry to say this, but these are the helmets for pensioners or retired people. So when I become probably 65 or 70, I will buy this type of helmets, but I don't like it now. First, they are very expensive. The price is usually almost double compared to the normal adventure helmets. Quality, yeah, maybe they are in better quality, but I just don't like it. They are always heavier with at least 200 grams because of all of these systems here that you have to open. And I don't like the idea that you can open it. It's good on idea that, okay, I can open it and ride like that, but I don't want to be able to open it when I ride, because if you have an accident when you're riding slowly in the town or in the traffic with open helmet, with this modular helmet open, and hit the ground, one of the first things that the first places of your body that will hit the ground will be your chin and your face. And it's another one, how I have to say, possible scenario that could happen if you have this modular helmet. With a normal adventure helmet, it's impossible. Even if it's so hot, even if it's uncomfortable, I cannot open it. I can remove the helmet, but I cannot open it. And this somehow helped me to protect my face better. I hope that this answers the question. But again, expensive, I don't like the idea, ugly, heavy, and not safe enough. Also, when the helmet have got this possibility to be open, when we have this locking and unlocking mechanisms, this always compromise the strength of the shell, if you understand what I mean. Any mini trips planned before South American courses? Yes, I do have a new mini trip planned. It's a new from a few days, but in March next year I will go for a month or maybe a little bit longer in Tanzania, Kenya, and this part, east part of Africa. The other day, a follower from the channel contacted me, Bulgarian guy who is living in Tanzania, and he said that he can assist me with anything if I need over there. So I will fly to Tanzania and will buy a small, cheap Chinese motorcycle or local motorcycles, whatever I can find over there for around $1,000. We'll use this motorcycle for my trip, and then I'm gonna sell it after that and fly back. This is the plan. I still don't have the clear dates and the clear routes, and I will definitely tell you when I have it. I will definitely share this on the channel. But yes, this will be my mini trip for the next March. And then at the end of the year, December, South America. This is the plan for now. I might have even some other small short trips, but this is for now. Yeah, look forward to see this part of the world, because it is very difficult to go with your motorcycle, so this will be the plan. I use a normal integral helmet, as the adventure helmets are too loud with the shield over the visor. MX riders need the shield to look down as someone is front of my friend. Fair enough, use whatever helmet is comfortable for you. As I said, I will never use a helmet that hasn't got some integrated sunglasses. Also, I will never use a helmet that hasn't got a peak. Peak is priceless for many reasons. One of the reasons that I enjoy and use almost every single day is when you're riding against the sun. You can just tilt a little bit and the sun, it's not a problem. With a normal helmet, it's a problem. If you need to spend many hours riding against the sun, you probably know what I mean. You definitely need sunglasses, but sunglasses cannot really protect from the direct sunlight. Also, the peak protects your visor every time when you drop the helmet on the ground. Without it, if you drop the helmet 10 times, 9 times you will break the visor. If you have a peak, you will never break it. I dropped my helmets many times, never broke the visor, never ever. On the old helmets or the standard normal helmets, I broke 2 visors. So this is my take on the normal and adventure type of helmets. Yeah, they are noisier, no doubts about it. They are a little bit heavier, but I'm a heavy big guy, I don't care about it, and also I don't ride fast. If you ride fast over 120, 30, 40, 50 kilometers per hour, you will definitely feel the noise more than me, and also you will feel this power. Actually, the wind will move your helmet because of the peak, it will react like a sail. But for me, it's fine. It's also always depends on the purpose that you have with your helmet. Christoph, you'll go in Romania in September. Nikolai, no, I did not plan any trips to Romania, but Romania is very close. I might go. What part of Romania are you, Nikolai? Nikolai or Nikolai? What is the right pronouncement of your name? Chris will go to Romania in September. Second. Nikolai, okay, I'm sorry for the mistake. What part of Romania are you, Nikolai? Northeast part, close to Moldova. I definitely don't plan to go to this area, but if you for some reason decided to ride in Bulgaria, let me know. I'll be glad to meet you. If you come to my area, please do it so. Give me a call, contact me, I'll meet you, we'll have a drinks, we can ride a little bit here and there. Absolutely. Come over. I'll meet you in my garage. We'll show you my area. We'll have some beers. No worries. You're more than welcome. Everyone is welcome. Sibiu. Sibiu is a nice town, Forest. Alright guys, the last 5 minutes. If you have any questions, go ahead, shoot. If not, I'm gonna end the stream here. It looks like this Q&A streams are not bad idea. Maybe next week we're gonna make again Q&A because we're gonna have many different topics covered with questions and answers. Maybe will be even better than the standard streams that I usually do. We'll see how it's going. Thank you very much for coming, guys. Thank you very much for the support in the channel, in the Patreon page, anywhere. My pleasure, Nikolai, my pleasure. I hope that in the future more people will come and we'll make this nice conversation. Questions, answers, stories, whatever helps. So thank you once again for the support, guys. I really appreciate that. As I said, I am here because of people like you. Keep smiling, keep riding, and see you next week. My pleasure, Big D. Ciao.